The U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill to allow Puerto Rico to decide their future as a non-U.S. territory. The bill would allow Puerto Ricans to decide if they want statehood, independence, or sovereignty in free association with the U.S. The House passed the legislation on a 232 to 191 vote. Lawmakers on both sides debated this issue on the House floor. Those for this legislation argued it's a huge step forward towards Puerto Rico's decolonization. But others against this bill are concerned about the economic implications of changing Puerto Rico's status. Puerto Rico's resident commissioner encouraged House members to vote for this legislation on the floor.
Territorial condition constrains the island's ability to prosper and has relegated the island into an indefinite second-class status when compared to the 50 states. And this is the main reason behind social, economic, and fiscal challenges we have faced, forcing a mass exodus of millions of Puerto Ricans to the mainland in search for that equality.
Meantime, Puerto Rico has been under U.S. control since 1898, I should say. Of course, much like the U.S. Virgin Islands, the island's residents are citizens, but they don't pay federal income taxes since they don't have voting representation in Congress. They also don't have access to federal programs like SSSI, Medicaid, SNAP benefits, and much more. The legislation the House passed Thursday will move to the Senate for consideration. If passed, Puerto Ricans will decide the fate next November. Well, meantime, St. Kitts and Nevis is becoming one of the premier film destinations in the Caribbean region. Our One Caribbean News' Deandra Hamilton reports.
With MSR Media having a lineup of 8 movies already filmed in St. Kitts and Nevis and another one currently in production, the Twin Island nation is well on its way to becoming one of the top film destinations in the Caribbean. According to the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, 4 movies have already been released. These are Assailant, Christmas in the Caribbean, Christmas in Paradise, and A Week in Paradise. The other 4 movies, along with 3 other films, are scheduled for a 2023 release. The most recent film, Christmas in the Caribbean, premiered on Sunday, December 11th in St. Kitts. While speaking at a media briefing at the movie premiere on Sunday, chief producer at MSR Media SKN, Philippe Martinez, revealed that his company will be opening a headquarters in St. Kitts and Nevis.
This is an important week for us because at the end of the week, MSR is opening a headquarters in St. Kitts. So we're very excited about it.
Also noted that the movies produced on the island have been getting international recognition, as one of the biggest film creators and directors on the planet has expressed an interest in producing a movie in St. Kitts and Nevis.
It means that what we have done with our team in Nevis, our team in St. Kitts, has already attracted the studio in Hollywood who understand that now this country is a major player in the business of producing movies.
In his remarks, Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew expressed his appreciation to Martinez and his team and said the country will develop a film industry.
I want to thank Philippe for really coming through on what we had discussed some time before, that St. Kitts and Nevis must become part of the film industry, and right on these 2 beautiful islands we will develop a movie industry as well.
Deandra Hamilton reporting.
All right, thanks so much, Deandra. Meantime, the Guyana government has now signed a contract for $759 million natural gas plant and a 300 megawatt combined cycle gas turbine power plant project that is expected to result in cheaper electricity, less than half the current cost. The historic deal was signed between the government and Lindsay Koss CH4. President Irfan Ali said the transformation project at West Coast Damfura is not only about power generation, but will unlock enormous economic opportunities for Guyana.
This is the largest project that we would have embarked on as a country. And that brings with it its own challenges. But it also gives us an opportunity to build capacity.
In the meantime, President Ali stressed that natural gas, the project there, would not affect the construction of the hydropower plant over in West Central Guyana. He said this initiative simply forms part of his administration's Energy Master Plan, which is national and regional in nature.
Our commitment to hydro and a diversified portfolio of energy generation will be unparalleled and unmatched in the region. It also is linked to our strategic approach on energy that involves beyond our borders. And all of these things will be rolled out as we move forward with unlocking our energy master plan that is national and regional in nature. Guyana has once again proven that we not only have strong bilateral relationship and partnership.
And switching gears now to the latest in health news. Flu season has hit hard, and early on in the U.S. this season, public health leaders say people are tired of being reminded to get their shots. And today, our One Caribbean News' Emily Matson has more on why this vaccine fatigue is leaving the nation especially vulnerable to respiratory viruses.
In the U.S., it's never an easy sell. Less than half of the population has gotten an annual flu shot for at least the past decade. And that's not the only respiratory virus wreaking havoc right now, leaving some hospitals struggling to keep up with the influx of patients.
We've got beds and hallways in the emergency department for patients who've been admitted and are waiting for hospital beds.
At UC San Diego Health, tents are also set up in the parking lot, extra beds for those needing triage. In the past couple of weeks, there's been a surge in cases of the flu and other respiratory viruses.
So these tents are up as a contingency. We hope we won't need them, but we anticipate we will as we face this coming surge.
CDC data shows millions fewer doses of the flu vaccine have been distributed this season compared to this point in previous years. Only 26% of adults had gotten their flu shot by the end of October, a deadline health experts say provides the best protection throughout the season. As for the updated COVID-19 booster, fewer than 1 in 7 eligible people have rolled up their sleeves since it was authorized in the fall. But it is not too late to get vaccinated.
The influenza vaccine that we have this year really matches the strains of the flu that are causing illness. So I would encourage people to receive your flu vaccine right away if you haven't.
Emily Matson reporting.
All right, thanks so much, Emily. Now, the first full week post-Thanksgiving, they say, was the worst yet of the early flu season. More than a third of flu hospitalizations and deaths were reported last week. But the CDC says sharp increases like this are common 2 months into the season.